Welcome back to What She Said. It is 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We got a good show for you. Good show for you. Part two of ranking the best and worst games for the 2024 season for CU. Now, we're going to give everybody a minute to get in here, so we're just going to play some music. Let me know when you make it. Okay, so we just waited for the squad to join us. Happy April Fool's Day. If you saw the thumbnail, then you understand that a prank was played today. And while it was a prank, I liked it. I liked what it suggested. So, I think the April Fool's joke from NFL memes backfired. So we're going to talk about that. We got a good show planned for April Fool's today. Did anybody get pranked today and forget that it was April Fool's? Just giving everybody a chance to join. I'm supposed to be Coach Prime. Kiel suggested I put on a hat instead of the scarf because scarf was prime time. The hat is Coach Prime, and I was like, I have a hat, and then I realized I have a vacation hat. I have a straw hat. I don't have a felt fedora hat or whatever they call it. So I got the wrong hat. So it's not giving Coach Prime, it's giving vacay. But I'm ready. I'm ready for vacay. So we're gonna make it do what it do. All right. 3 of us in here. All right. We normally like to get to 5. And then we're gonna get going. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are hanging out in the background, don't forget to hit the like button. And April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day. Happy April Fool's. Let's see who's in here. All right, let's see who's in here. Hey, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, Gracie. How you doing? Hope you had a good day. Did you get pranked today since it's April Fool's? We're going to give it a minute for everybody else to join, and then we'll get going. It is Tuesday night, April 1st. If you saw the thumbnail, you understand that a prank was played by NFL memes. It was quite believable, and I like it. So let's jump into that. We'll get into that first. All right, so in honor of April Fool's Day, a meme account belonging, it said NFL memes. I don't know who owns the account. Actually circulated and posted an announcement. And the announcement was that Dak Prescott had been traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, something that had actually been discussed. And then there was another caption in a different article that said that Dak Prescott turned down an 8-figure deal from the Cowboys, and that the negotiation tactics were revealed, right? And I was like, "Ooh, I like it." And apparently, this is something that has been discussed over the past 30 days, the past month. If Dak could end up a Pittsburgh Steeler. Now, understand that Aaron Rodgers worked out yesterday for the Pittsburgh Steelers, working out with DK Metcalf. People getting the impression that that's where he's going, right? I don't know why he's easing himself into it. It's almost like he has to audition the players and throw with them to see if it's going to work out or not. I don't know, but that's what he did. So when I saw the announcement today, I didn't realize it was from a meme account. And then, of course, I instantly went and Googled the scenarios, and I noticed it wasn't a lot of headlines out about it. But it was conversation. Could Dak actually go to Pittsburgh? I mean, honestly, I don't have a problem with it because, we talked about good news for Shedeur Sanders. Why? because Jerry Jones said he'd have to do a lot of trading, and moving Dak is one of the priorities, right? In order for Dallas to get another quarterback, they got to get rid of. I'm sorry, they have to trade Dak Prescott, and he has a no trade clause. He'd have to agree to it, but it's doable, right? Um, so it's not true, apparently. If so, it would have been all over the place. It looked like it was just from NFL memes. I think they said the commissioner saw it and thought it was a reality. Um, but it's not. But if it were, and that's where we come in at. I mean, I like it because it instantly says, oh, Shedeur Sanders could go home to the Dallas Cowboys. We talked about this yesterday. We talked about this day before yesterday. What would it take to, move Dak if the Cleveland Browns were truly interested? So we don't know. We just gonna have to see. So we're gonna keep our eyes open. What may be an April Fool's joke and Dak being traded to Pittsburgh could be a half truth in the future. He could get traded, but maybe to the Browns. Cap space would be a problem, but we shall see. We shall see. So this was an April Fool's joke today that I actually liked. So let me know if y'all had any good pranks played on you today. Gracie said, no pranks for me. How was your day? It was good. It was good. Honestly, it was good. It was fun. I knew it was April Fool's early on in the day, but honestly, by 4 o'clock, I forgot. I forgot. Then I had to remember, oh, okay, you know what? You might need to stay vigilant because, people like to play jokes all day long. So I was ready for it. I was ready for it. So I made this thumbnail, even though it's not real. I like the opportunity that it presents for Shedeur to go home to Dallas. And in other news pertaining to Dallas, Tyreek Hill from Miami to Dallas, and Michael Parsons is actually upset that, unless that was an April Fool's joke, his contract has not been negotiated. And that leads back to what we said about the Dallas Cowboys when free agency opened. What is the priority? Okay. And remember, there was the player number 11, DeMarcus, I think was his name, went from Dallas to Seattle, right? And what happened? He said he was happy to go to Seattle because he knew he would never win a Super Bowl right there in Dallas. And Michael Parsons was upset. He was upset with the number 11. He was upset with him. I think his name was DeMarcus. And guess what? Now Michael Parsons, he himself is upset. And I was like, how are you going to be upset with the man and they haven't even touched your contract yet? They haven't even renegotiated your contract yet. And you upset with somebody that said that they're not serious about winning. Well, if they aren't serious about signing you, maybe they really aren't serious about winning. Again, I said that this is kind of entertainment and everything else generates the money. And this is the entertainment that keeps it all together. So we shall see. All right. So that was the April Fool's joke. Let's get on to, I had a question here. Let's see, put it back. All right. So Q&A for today started with part 1 yesterday. Today is part 2. And that is the best CU football games of 2024. So yesterday we talked about the worst. So let's recap the worst and we're going to start going in on part 2. But I have a poll I took on YouTube and they gave us some insight also. All right. So get ready. You're going to have to familiarize yourself with the games so you can understand. What games to rank for the best, right? All right. Oh, this is the best right here. Let me grab the worst. Hold on one second. So that's the best. Let me grab the worst. So I'm just grabbing the worst. I did 2 slides. I split it up, and tomorrow for part 3, I'll just put it all together. Because we haven't ranked. I think we only ranked 2 out of the remaining games for the best. Oh, let's see. I don't know what I did with it. Let's see. Maybe I accidentally deleted it. Anything's possible. Let's see. I'll look one more time. We'll just move on to the best, and then we could just recap the worst tomorrow. Well, actually, I can just tell you the worst. So the worst games of 2024. Yesterday, we decided as a podcast community Number one, the absolute worst was what? The Alamo Bowl. Number two was Nebraska. Number three was Kansas. And number four was Kansas State. So that's what we came up with for the worst games. So let's talk about the best games. All right. So as you can see, the schedule is right here from 2024. So you should be able to kind of take a peek and see who's on here to familiarize yourself. So we said the best game of last year was UCF, right? University of Central Florida. That's the game. I don't know if y'all remember, but that's where the storm was coming in and the team went down anyway. And it was raining during the game. I feel like Cam Newton was at that game. So it was a lot going on with that game. That was the one in Orlando. There were a lot of, I feel like it was a lot of recruits there. A lot of Florida boys were on the team. So it was a lot of family and friends at that game. And they referred to the UCF Stadium as the bounce house because they have their tradition. It's always packed. I think they got like 60,000 students. And so it's always packed, right? We cleared that stadium out. And as part of our trivia, we're going to do a part 3 for trivia. I'm probably going to use some faces of fans, some empty stadiums, so y'all can guess what game it was, because we had garnered the reputation. CU had garnered the reputation for clearing out stadiums. I'll never forget Arizona. Whoo, that was their homecoming. That was tragic. They were all there at first, and it was just tragic for that to be their homecoming. So number 1 was UCF, and number 2 was Baylor. Now, we said, even though Baylor has to be hands down the most memorable game, the best game is still UCF. Why? Because we played the most complete game with UCF, and it was the best game. I mean, we put a BTA on them, right? So let's move on to number 3. Okay, so with number 3, let's see who's left. All right, so we have North Dakota State, Colorado State. We already did Baylor and UCF, Arizona, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, and Utah and Oklahoma State. Okay, so we're looking for the third best game out of the remaining games that I just mentioned. Was it Oklahoma State? We beat them, 53-0? Was it North Dakota State? Or was it Texas Tech? What do y'all think? I mean, of course, there's Utah, Cincinnati, and North Dakota and Arizona. I don't know. I think the next best game, the third one, is either Oklahoma State or Texas Tech. Do me a favor, drop it in the chat which y'all believe it is. I mean, if you think it's Utah was a good game. So was Cincinnati, and so was Arizona. North Dakota State was good too, but it was the very, very first game, and it wasn't a conference game. And I don't know if it was the best game, but it was just a good game. So let's see if anybody in the comments has any thoughts on the third best game. Let's see who we have here. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Good evening, Kiel. Good evening. Oh, thank you. This is not the hat I was thinking. I was trying to give Coach Prime today, because yesterday you said wear a hat because I had on the scarf, but you said the scarf was prime time. I said, oh, that's right. I need a hat. So I was like, I have a hat. I was like, oh, wait, Coach Prime don't wear a straw hat. He wear a felt hat or something. So I got to get a different hat. But thank you anyway, because I feel like I'm getting ready to board a cruise ship, which would be nice. So thank you for that. Okay, State. Okay, Gracie on here too. I think she said Oklahoma State. All right, Gracie. What do you think is the third best game? Kiel said Oklahoma State. What about you, Jerry? You have any thoughts on the third best game out of Arizona, Cincinnati, OK State, North Dakota State? I don't know if I say Arizona, and Utah, Cincinnati, Utah, North Dakota State, Arizona, Utah, Oklahoma State. All right. I think so. I'm gonna wait to see if Gracie have a response. All right, y'all. So y'all need to be thinking about the next game because it's gonna get a little tougher. It was easy to pick 1 and 2. It was a little bit more obvious. 3. Let's go with Oklahoma State. You know why? Because it was the last game of the season. Travis clinched the Heisman with that game. What was the final score? 52 or 53 to 0? I feel like 52, 53, 0. Let's go with Oklahoma State. The third best game is when we get in the playoffs. Huh? We're talking about 2024. We're talking about 2024, Elijah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. We're talking about the 2024. We're ranking the 2024 season. We'll get to 2023 and we'll get to 2025. We're ranking the best games of the 24 season for CU. Yesterday we did the worst games. Now we're in the best games. So let's see. I'll see. I don't know. Gracie, did you say anything? Utah. Oh, Jerry. All right. So we have Utah and we have OK State. Anybody else? Anybody else? Because I need a third person to break the tie. Elijah, you got any ideas for the third best game of the 2024 season? Any thoughts there? So we have OK State and Utah. Jerry, why you say Utah? I'm just curious. Not that it wasn't a good game, but what is your rationale behind Utah? OK State is obvious because of the score, because it was the last game. Travis had a good game. But what is it about Utah other than, I don't know if we were supposed to win that game. I know it was a good game, though. I do know it was a good game. So I'm waiting on Jerry to see. Elijah, you have any thoughts on the third best game? Gracie, any thoughts on the third best game? Okay. Let me know. All right, while we wait on that, while we wait on somebody to break the tie between OK State and Utah, did y'all notice the thumbnail? Elijah said Kansas State. Come on. How can that be the best game? Elijah, are you staying on task? Because what's going on? You really thought Kansas State was one of the best games? We said it was one of the worst games. I think it's the fourth worst game. So I need you to put your thinking cap on. Elijah, come on. What we got for the third best game of the season? So now we got OK State, Utah, and Kansas State. Anybody else? While we wait on that, I don't know if y'all saw the thumbnail with Shedeur and Dak Prescott, because it was a what? Today is April Fool's. So there was a prank played by a meme account that pretty much suggested that Dak was being traded. So I got excited. I was like, "Ooh, okay, it's a joke. I get it. But the possibility, if Dak truly gets traded, then that opens up room for Shedeur." That's what I said. So I didn't know if y'all saw the thumbnail and y'all wanted to discuss it, but that's why I put it together. That was the inspiration. Jerry said Utah was very competitive. Okay. It was a good game. Okay. Let's see. Who else? It says it was the way we played against them and referees. Yeah, but we lost. Okay, I get it. I don't know. We got cheated out of that game. Okay, so Elijah, I like your input. Thank you so much. Jerry said Utah was competitive, and Kiel said that Oklahoma State was the best game. I still need somebody to tie it. I don't know. Gracie, are you still back there? Are you still in there? If so, we need input. I need a tiebreaker. I need somebody to pick one of the other teams, and I don't want it to be me. Let's see. That's it. All right. Well, okay. Utah, Oklahoma State. Okay. I'm gonna go with Utah because it was very competitive. They did not expect this game to be competitive. Oklahoma State was already lagging last anyway. So I'm not gonna say that game was a gimme because it wasn't, but it was not as competitive as Utah. So, okay, Jerry, I'm going to side with you on this one. Utah is the third best game of the season due to the competition. All right. Third best game. Utah. All right. Okay. What about Baylor? We ranked Baylor right up here. Baylor is the second best game of the season. We voted on that yesterday. So Elijah, I don't know if you had a chance to see if you can see the screen. It's the second best game. So just a quick recap. The absolute best game from last year, we voted was UCF. Then we voted and Baylor was second. Even though Baylor was the most memorable, it still was the second best game. And we said UCF was the best game because it was the most complete game. And then number 3, we just ranked Utah as the third best game. So overnight, I will update the slides and then put it all together. For part 3 tomorrow, which is trivia, so you might get the opportunity, you might want to go watch or, tap into your memory bank, and I'm asking questions about the games from last year. For instance, what game did Will Sheppard get his first touchdown? If you already know, then you're ahead of the class. Then I'm probably going to ask, how many yards did Shedeur throw for? No, you can't cheat. I'm probably going to change up the question. Those kinds of questions. All right. So now, this is going to get them more difficult. I think Oklahoma was an exceptional game for Colorado. It was, and we just voted that Utah was the third best game. So let's maybe consider Oklahoma State for number 4. Let's see who we have left. All right. Number 3, Utah, third best game. So number 4, who's left? North Dakota State. All right. 4th best game. Now listen for who I'm saying is available to rank for the 4th best game of 2024. North Dakota State, Colorado State. I'm surprised we hadn't grabbed that one yet. Arizona, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma State. Okay. I think Colorado State is the 4th best game. Because why? Travis, that was the game Travis scored a touchdown on Henry Blackburn. I'm not going to say Arizona. It was a homecoming, and we put a BTA on them. It wasn't that competitive. It was a good game, but it wasn't that competitive. Half the people was hurt. They had all kind of issues. Cincinnati was good. Texas Tech was good. Texas Tech was a good game for us. So, okay. And then there's Oklahoma State. All right. So I feel like it's a 3-way tie between Colorado State, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma State. Of those 3, I'm trying to narrow it down for y'all. Of those 3 games, Texas Tech, Colorado State, and Oklahoma State, what was the 4th best game? Let's see. 4th best game. Anybody have any thoughts? Let's see. Okay, so let's talk about the games. Okay. I think we defeated Colorado State 28-9. I remember that. But this isn't necessarily about the score. What made that game memorable is we put a BTA on them, number 1. Number 2, I think the quarterback was talking trash, and Shedeur had the opportunity to tell him, no, you go away because you was playing in our face. And then Travis got his revenge on number 11, Henry Blackburn, with a very nice touchdown. And I remember Blackburn running off the sidelines. I'm running out the end zone. So that's Colorado State. Then Texas Tech. All right. Texas Tech was a good game. It was competitive, and then we pulled away. And then y'all know the whole student section with and then the student section was weird with the things they were throwing in the stadium. I don't consider that the best game. The ref was tripping, talking about telling Coach Prime he wasn't going to stop the fans from misbehaving because our players were throwing kisses in the end zone. That was Taj Brooks. I'm like, so you don't know what Colorado's wearing and you don't know what Texas Tech is wearing? So I'm going to disqualify that one as the best game. I swear that's one of the worst games. But we won it. But it's, again, still, I think Jimmy Horn Jr. ended up getting hurt. At the end, the ball boy was tripping. I was like, it was just all kind of, I might need to put that one on the 5th worst game of the season. Elijah said Colorado State. Okay, Elijah, you like Colorado State. Jerry said Texas Tech, but what does it say? I'm impartial. Is that what you're saying? Jerry, what are you saying about Texas Tech? Let's see who else we have in here. I like Colorado State. If we don't get anybody else, Elijah and I going with Colorado State. So Gracie, I don't know if you still. Oh, okay. Gracie said Oklahoma State. She liked Oklahoma State. I like Oklahoma State too, but again, that was not a very competitive game, but it was a good game, and it was the last game. And I will put Oklahoma State above Texas Tech in terms of the best game. Rude crowd, yeah. As I said, I don't really like Texas Tech. All right, we going with Colorado State. We got two of us, Colorado State as the fourth best game. So I'm going to put that in the chat. So let's see. Fourth best game. Yeah, there was a lot happening with Colorado State that was good for us, and it was a rival from last year. So that means we're 2-0 in the rivalry, right? Fourth best game, CSU. All right, Colorado State. So that means we're 2-0 in the last since in the Coach Prime era, and we don't play them this year. We have the Rumble and the Rockies with Utah. All right. So fourth best game came out to be CSU. All right. We're narrowing it down. We're almost there. We have the four worst games. Now we have the four best games. So that's 8. All right. Okay. All right. Kiel said Utah. Okay, we're gonna use that for next time because we already got Utah. Well, did we put Utah? I think we said Utah. Let's see. Third best game was Utah, Kiel. Okay. Fourth best game is CSU. All right, let's just do a little recap real fast so everybody can stay on task. All right, so best game. We're doing, let me put the Q&A back so people who are joining us can understand what we're talking about. Okay. The question of today, part 2. Ranking CU's best games of 2024. All right. I'm not going on vacation. I was supposed to be channeling Coach Prime, but I don't have the right head. So hang in there. Best game. Not the most memorable. Best game, UCF. That's number 1. Number 2, and most memorable, Baylor. Number 3, Utah. Number 4, Utah was very competitive. And it wasn't expected to be. Number 4, who did we just say? CSU, Colorado State. Beat them 28-9. Travis got his revenge. Shedeur checked the quarterback who thought he was going to smile in Shedeur's face after they were talking trash to us. It's a rivalry, and we're now 2-0 in the Coach Prime era against Colorado State. Another BTA performance. Well, the first one was close. But that was a good game. Now, when we rank 2023, that game is up there with one of the best, if not the best. I have to think about it. And so y'all didn't get your thinking caps on for 2023 because we're coming right back with it. All right, so let's go to number 5. 5 best games. Let's talk about who we have left. Colorado State. Oh, hold on one second. 5th best game. Colorado State. No, not Colorado State. Excuse me. North Dakota State. Arizona, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma State. I'm going to start with Oklahoma State, Cincinnati. I don't know if Texas Tech was a good game or a bad one. We're going to have to figure that out. I don't know if it was, I feel like it was the 5th worst game instead of the 5th best game. I say the 5th best game. I'm going to go with Oklahoma State. What do y'all think? I don't remember. I mean, Cincinnati was a good game, but there's just nothing in my mind that stands out about the Cincinnati game, other than that's the game where we clinched the bowl appearance. That's what I remember about Cincinnati. Any thoughts there? I say the 5th best game is, Jackie said Texas Tech because of all the crazy. All right, so y'all want to go to Texas Tech as the 5th best game due to all the hijinks. And we did beat them. And it started out close. And they scored first. And we still, not only did we come back, tie that game, we pulled away and we beat them. So I'm cool. We could go with Texas Tech if y'all want. I want to see what the final score was. I can't remember that. Let's see. Texas Tech versus CU, Colorado. Okay, that's clearly basketball. Football. 41-27. So, okay, in the first quarter, Texas Tech had us up 13-0. I think this might be the fifth best game. The second quarter, Colorado scored 10 points, and Texas Tech didn't score any points. So at the half, the score was 10-13. So we actually went into the half down by 3. Then when we came back in the third quarter, Colorado had 21 points. 21 points in the third quarter alone to their 7. The fourth quarter, we had 10 points to their 7. I think we're going to go with this as the fifth best game because the football was good and we went in the locker room down and came back and won. And in the third quarter, we racked up 21 points. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Texas Tech. Elijah, you say Oklahoma State. I'm going to have to go with Texas Tech due to the competitiveness, the fact that we were down going in at the half, and then we come back and we defeat these folks. We get 21 points in the third, and we get 10 points in the fourth to win 41-27. And honestly, I remember distinctly, they thought they had us on the ropes. They thought they had that game won going into the half, and they scored. We didn't even score in the first quarter. So I think Texas Tech should get the fifth. And then when you put all the little other stuff with it, it was a game. It's kind of memorable, but not for the right reasons. So yeah, we're gonna go with Texas Tech. So the fifth best game is Texas Tech due to the Colorado's performance, really. Okay, I like it. All right, y'all ready for 6, 7, 8, and 9? Texas Tech. Yeah, I know we didn't start off ahead on that game. We were behind it. We came from back and won. That's leadership. Okay, fifth best game, Texas Tech. All right, so we got 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so we got North Dakota State, Arizona. It was their homecoming. Cincinnati and Oklahoma State. Okay, North Dakota State, Arizona, Cincinnati, and Oklahoma State. It's 4 games left. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. All right. So after Texas Tech, would you say it's Oklahoma State, Cincinnati, North Dakota State, or Arizona? Now, Arizona, it was their homecoming. And that was a good game, even though it wasn't that competitive because all their people was hurt. Now, Oklahoma State, we put a BTA on them. I think I'm going to go with Oklahoma State. What y'all think about Oklahoma State? Because last game, Travis clinched the Heisman, and that was the first shutout that we had. I feel like it was 53 or 52-0. Last game of the Shedeur Sanders era, the Travis Hunter era, the dynamic duo from Jackson State, Mata. Well, he's still there. He's still there. What do y'all think about that? This is where we put Oklahoma State. Because this was the first game that we played, and it was a shutout. This will be the sixth best game. I'm saying Oklahoma State, North Dakota State, Cincinnati, or Arizona. Do y'all remember anything about the North Dakota State game? I kind of remember a little bit about Cincinnati. We clinched the bowl. That's what Cincinnati was special for. So Cincinnati or Oklahoma State. Well, we actually ended the season, ended the era, and we had a shutout. So a shutout versus clinching a bowl appearance. What do y'all think? The sixth best game. Oklahoma State, Cincinnati, Arizona. We defeated them really badly on their homecoming. And then North Dakota State, which is just the first game of the season. And we won that game. People really thought we were going to lose that game. Any thoughts? Any thoughts on the sixth best game? Let me see what the score was for. Let's see, Colorado. Colorado's record in 2024. Oh, who do we? Let's see. Wanted to see. Okay. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I was looking to see how what the score was. Okay, nobody has any thoughts on the sixth best game. Okay, so Kiel said Cincinnati for the fifth one. Elijah said Oklahoma State for the fifth one. Okay, we went with Texas Tech. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Okay, Elijah says Cincinnati. Kiel says Cincinnati. Okay, you know what? We're going with Cincinnati. Sixth best game of the season, Cincinnati. We clinched a bowl appearance. Colorado's first bowl appearance, and I don't even know how long. All right, I like that. Sixth best game of the season, Cincinnati. Cincy. Okay. All right. Sixth best game, Cincy. All right. Jerry said North Dakota State. All right. So, Jerry, we're going to have to move North Dakota State down to maybe possibly number 7. All right. So, all we have left is North Dakota State, Arizona, and we still have Oklahoma State. North Dakota State, first game. Arizona, we defeated them on their homecoming. Half their team was hurt. We emptied the bleachers by the third quarter, I think. And Oklahoma State, you know the story. Last game of the season, last game of the era for Shedeur, for Travis, the dynamic duo, where they were saying Heisman, he is Heisman, Travis, clinched the Heisman. That was the first time Colorado had a shutout game. Oklahoma State or North Dakota State. Let's see. Jerry says North Dakota State. Anybody else? North Dakota State, Arizona, or Oklahoma State? I think we're going to go with Oklahoma State as the 7th best game. The 7th best game. All right. All right. The 7th best game. OSU. Obvious reasons. Last game. Shutout. Travis clinched the Heisman. End of an era. Last game, Coach Prime coached his sons. Oh, no, it really wasn't. The Alamo Bowl was. But last regular season game. Technically the end of an era. All right. 7th best game, OSU. All right, we only got 2 left. 8 and 9. Arizona or North Dakota State? It was Arizona's homecoming. And North Dakota was the first game of. I need y'all's input on number 8. So we got Oklahoma State, Elijah. Yep, you got it in there. Okay. All right. So while we wait for y'all to tell me between Arizona and North Dakota State, who's 8 and who's 9, if you know who the 8th best game of the season was, then you know who the 9th was. While we do that, I have an announcement. If you're on the go, traveling, working out, moving around in the house, maybe you're cleaning, don't have time to watch a video, take What She Said Sports with you and listen up. Listen Up is the new audio podcast by What She Said Sports. We already have 2 audio episodes on YouTube, and we'll likely try to expand onto like some of the more popular platforms. Maybe y'all have Spotify, maybe you have Apple, etc. So we're growing around here. Thank you for your support. Your loyalty means a lot to me. It lets me know that, I should gamble and take the next step and go audio, because, some people are traveling. I'll never forget, we had Angela. She's like, I'm on a road trip. I'm listening to y'all. I know some people aren't at home. They're out and about. Some people are stationary. They don't have the opportunity to watch, television. Some people are working out. So listen up from What She Said Sports audio podcast. We already have 2 episodes out there. We probably gonna have a third before the sun up. Mrs. Stephen A. Smith is my next topic that I'm talking about. I enjoyed the audio podcast. It's different. It's different from the video. One, video, we're interacting. Two, audio, I get the free flow thought that I've already probably been thinking about. And you get to do what? Comment. You get to comment on it. And we just keep the interaction going. So take us on the go, or when you're doing your spring cleaning. What She Said Sports, listen up. All right. So you see it down at the bottom. If you go to the bio of this podcast, of the video, of all the videos, you'll see a link in the bio. That's where you have like the bio and the purpose of the podcast. I put the link to listen up by What She Said Sports audio podcast. I put it there in the bio. But you also can get to it as a playlist. It's going to say playlist, but it's going to say podcast. So, all right, let's get back to it. All right, so Elijah say Arizona. D Johnson, hey, D Johnson says North Dakota. Jerry said they had to win that game. Are you talking about North Dakota State? Yeah, we couldn't lose that game. We have to win Georgia Tech just like we got to win. We had to win North Dakota State. And North Dakota State is in a different division, right? But they're a good school. So I don't know why they're not in FBS football or something like that. So it seems they're in a different division, but they're good. And a lot of linemen I heard come from North Dakota State get drafted to the NFL. All right. And yeah, we had to win that game. All right. So I have Arizona and North Dakota. Which one is number 8? Is y'all want to go with North Dakota for number 8 because we had to win it. It was the first game of the season. So let's go with that. We'll go with North Dakota State as the 8th best game of the season. We won that game. People were speculating that we would lose. And they really thought we were going to lose to a team that's in a different division. And I felt like a lot of fans had to say, look, North Dakota State is no joke. So, we had to show them the respect that they deserve because they're a good team. They seem to have won championships year after year after year in their division. So, somebody said that was a trap game for us. They were expecting us to lose that game, but we won. So let's go with North Dakota State as the 8th best game of the season. Indy SU. I think I saw at the combine their quarterback. Somebody from North Dakota State was working out, I think, at the combine. I have to check. So the 8th best game is North Dakota State University. Yes, they had to win that game. People felt like all leading up to that game, oh, that's a trap game. They expect us to lose that game, etc. They put that on the schedule to trap. But I heard the schedule was made years in advance. So I don't know. I don't know. So, yes, we had to win that first game. So that's number 8. And that means that Arizona was the 9th best game of the season. Now, we won that game, but a lot of their people were hurt. And one of the people they kept talking about was McMillan. And he, I believe, is supposed to be like a top 10 draft pick. He's a wide receiver. And I think Travis had McMillan on his show. And McMillan asked Travis who he want to line up against. No, I think Travis said he wanted to line up against McMillan. No, McMillan said he wanted to line up against Travis, and Travis said he wanted to line up across from McMillan. So they want to play on the same team. And I was actually wondering, do y'all think it's possible that 2 first-round wide receivers, well, Travis is a corner, never mind. They would face off on each other, I guess. But I was going to ask y'all, if they both play wide receiver, do y'all believe that McMillan and Travis could possibly end up on the same team? I think it would involve a trade because right now there's not one first-round team that has 2 picks. And I don't know if the Patriots are going to pick to get McMillan and Travis. Let me know your thoughts. All right, so the 9th best game, yay, was Arizona. Rightfully so. I mean, we did beat them, and I remember, but they had a lot of injuries. A lot of injuries. And we cleared the bleachers. Okay, so what that means is we have ranked all 13 games, the worst to the best, The worst being BYU at the worst one, the number one worst game, the absolute worst game. Then secondly was Nebraska. Thirdly was Kansas. And the fourth worst game was Kansas State. And then the best games. That's what we're looking at now. So I'll take those. I'll take the notes from the chat and complete the list like I did for the worst games, and then we'll put them. I'll put it together on one slide so we can look at them all. Now, this was awesome. Thank y'all for doing this. This was fun. Y'all know it's a few days until Pro Day, so I thought it was great to take a look back and rank rank the teams that we played in terms of not the score, but the best and the worst. And I think we did a good job. So I'll put it together and we'll review the whole thing tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is part 3. Part 3 is trivia. And I plan on asking some very tricky questions. I'll give you an example. It's always good to have one test question as an example. What game did Will Sheppard score his first touchdown? So you're going to have to probably look at some film or tap into your memory bank to make sure that you know you can answer these questions, because tomorrow's trivia day. It's part 3. So we ranked on part 1, we ranked the worst teams of the 2024 season that we played, the worst games. Part 2 was today. We ranked the best. We completed that task. We'll put it all together overnight, share it again tomorrow, and then we'll do trivia. But I took a poll today. I wish I had started early in the day, but I didn't think about it. But I took a poll and I got some good insight. Now, we as a community just answered our best and worst, right? So I started online on YouTube and I asked the question, since we did the worst yesterday. The question was, what were the worst games of Colorado's 2024 football season that we played, right? Let's talk about what people came back with. The responses. Okay, let me know if you can see. All right, here we go. Now, some of you may have taken this poll. I don't know who takes the poll. Sometimes it's just different people. But we said it was BYU. According to the people that took the poll, 44% also agree that it was BYU. The second worst team we played as a podcast community yesterday, we decided it was Nebraska. YouTube community said Kansas. The YouTube community felt like Kansas was worse than Nebraska. And then as a podcast community, we said the third worst game was Kansas. So as you could see, Kansas and Nebraska were interchangeable. You know why? Because they were damn near the same game. And then the fourth, I think we all agreed on the fourth, the YouTube community and the What She Said community, Kansas State was the absolute worst game. Is that right? No. Wait. BYU, Kansas, Nebraska, and Kansas State. Oh no, Kansas and Kansas State were a tie. My bad. Kansas and Kansas State were a tie from the YouTube community. We actually had only 11% of the people said Nebraska. Interesting. So BYU was the worst. Kansas or Kansas State was the second and third. And Nebraska was the fourth worst game. That's surprising. That is very surprising because Nebraska was the second worst game for the What She Said podcast community. And for obvious reasons. But they had Kansas and Kansas State ranked. I mean, it makes sense because we got cheated out of one. I'm not going to say we got cheated out of the Kansas games, but we definitely got neglected for sure. They allowed dirty play. The refs allowed dirty play in the Kansas game. In the Kansas State game, we just got blatantly cheated. I think where pass interference was concerned, to the point where announcers were calling out the inconsistency in pass interference calls for Colorado. It'll be interesting to see how things go this year. And this is why. Okay, the NCAA has proven that they are biased, number one. This entire competitive spring game in the Ask, I dropped a video today, and the title is What She Said Sports. It says, it depends who's asking. And what I was saying was the answer for whether or not college football teams can play competitive spring games depends on who's asking. So because Coach Prime and Coach Fran Brown asked, two African American coaches, it was a no, and it came back with three flimsy reasons. They'll miss classes. One, they take classes online. Shador and Travis never even set foot in the classroom, according to Coach Prime. And they play away games, so they have protocol and processes for away games. And Syracuse was the only team coming this way, so I don't. That was flimsy. And then the competitive advantage for recruiting that CU would have was also flimsy because CU is playing its game on television. And I know they know children like young men like to look at, oh, I want to go to this school to get this exposure. And then the whole thing about we're out of time. There was nothing I could refute. I'm sure the coaches knew. But what I said in the video was that it depends who's asking. I said that what the NCAA wasn't expecting is for like Clemson's coach, Dabo Swinney, to say this doesn't make any sense. Oklahoma's coach to be for it, other people to be for it. Podcasters have jumped on the train of talking about the NCAA and their prejudices, basically. That's really what it is. Yesterday, DNVR Sports, I talked about this, asked the question if Dan Lanning wanted to do it, would they say yes? Dan Lanning, I think, the Oregon athletic director, is on the committee. And it was pointed out that the schools that these committee members are from are like Oregon, Wyoming, just, places where it might be a little obvious that there's some bias and some prejudice. So, with that, my question is now, what exactly is the purpose of the NCAA? Because from my adult years, all I've heard is just chaos, just halting progress, just exacting consequences against people unfairly. So it seems to me that there's supposed to be a governing body, and most governing bodies are supposed to be neutral, but they don't seem to be neutral. It seems to be they seem to be weaponizing their power to allow certain things and then to look away. So when it comes to CU, they're definitely biased. The question is, what can be done about it? Because they're their own governing body. Who governs the NCAA to say, hey, you're out of line? Is that where the court system comes in? On April 7th, in just a few short days, what's getting ready to happen? The court is getting ready to rule in a settlement against the NCAA that would allow not just NIL, but revenue sharing for NIL to ensure that all athletic programs have the ability to pay NIL, which makes all of the universities competitive. Well, definitely the ones I know that they're talking about in the Power Four, because there's not even a Power Five anymore. And that's coming down in a few days, and they were still fighting that tooth and nail. So it just seems to me that the NCAA's purpose is to weaponize its power and influence and be biased. It can't racist. It seems like their goal is to halt progress, especially where football is concerned. I don't hear much about basketball, but for some reason, football is fragmented. And I don't think y'all understand what I mean by that. Okay, so let's talk about football right fast. Okay, you have FBS, I think maybe an FCS, right? But then you have HBCUs, right? Now, in basketball, I noticed the HBCUs won their conferences like the SWAC and the MEAC, and whoever won from those conferences went on to play in March Madness, the first round, or to get to the first, to the first round of March Madness, the qualifier or whatever. But in football, it doesn't work like that. So when the SWAC or the MEAC wins and they go to the Celebration Bowl, that's it. The winner from the Celebration Bowl does not fold into the college football playoffs. Why not? If the HBCUs for basketball fold into March Madness, then why on earth would the football teams, whoever wins the Celebration Bowl, goes on to play in college football playoffs? It don't make any sense. And I don't understand why there's a separate combine for HBCU students and it's not a part, and they're not invited. Oh, now some of them do get invited. Some of them get invited to both. So if you can invite a few select players to the HBCU combine and to the NFL combine, why wouldn't you just put them all in the NFL combine? What is that about? It makes me feel like people say they don't want to recognize talent at the HBCU level. I say, oh no, they know they have talent because they keep pulling from the talent. They keep pulling what? DBs, wide receivers, maybe defensive linemen. I don't know about offensive linemen. I don't think they get any quarterbacks. You know what I mean? It's like they leave out the leadership position, possibly the O-line position, and they take what I call bodies, the fast, the speed. It's like they want to take the speed from the HBCUs, but not recognize the leadership. And I don't like that. So again, something has to be done about the NCAA because they're trying to halt progress, keeping the HBCU combine aside, cherry picking who to invite from the HBCU combine, overlooking the quarterbacks and saying, okay, yeah, we're not going to look at that. We're just going to take the speed and putting them in the combine when they all should be in the same combine. They all should be in the same combine. Just like in basketball, the SWAC and the MEAC go on to compete for March Madness. So it doesn't seem to be, and I don't know how these people get these positions. I don't know if they apply for them, if they're appointed, but we need to take a hard look at this governing body because it's not neutral. It's not neutral. Sure, you can't prove in a court of law that they would allow Dan Lanning to do it. But you can start asking questions as to, so why is it that Coach Prime, who's the coach of Colorado, why is it that the calls are inconsistent for his team? Why is it that there's a tendency for the referees to allow the other team to play dirty? Why is it that the calls that are discretionary by the referees are used more so against Colorado? I'm talking about taunting. I'm talking about not necessarily holding, but that is one of them. And then pass interference. Why is it that discretionary calls are generally against Colorado? Why is it that in most football games, when there's like a penalty, it's assessed on the PAT, not a touchdown call back for taunting? There's a lot of questions that could be asked. And I'm pretty sure the NCAA was like, oh, we didn't know that people were going to speak out. We thought everybody was going to be on our side. We thought everybody was going to be cheering that we shut down Coach Prime. That's what they thought, but that's not the case. People are now, see, this is why you have to give people a reason to say no, because now they're exposed. I mean, we all thought it last year, but see, now we know. And with other people speaking out, it's like it doesn't make sense. This should have already happened. We wanted to do this. All they had to do was talk to other schools and see their interest level and get it done. But now the conversation is, if Dan Lanning asked, he probably will be able to do it. I saw comments. I bet if Sarkisian asked, he could do it. I bet if Bill Belichick asked, he could do it. Fran Brown actually spoke on it. He actually spoke on it. So he also has courage. Something a lot of players wouldn't. They would just be quiet and polite, thinking it's going to get them somewhere. But I told you that polite game doesn't get you anywhere in the face of disrespect. So it's a lot of questions to be asked about the NCAA. It's supposed to be a neutral governing body. They don't seem to be held accountable. Who holds them accountable? Is it only in the case of legal action? If that's what we got to do. Last year, they had a forum for the NCAA referees. If you felt like a referee was improper, we could have filled it out. I went back and couldn't find it. I'm going to go back and look and see if I can find it again. It wouldn't surprise me if they took it after the Kansas game because it was there after the Kansas State game. But after the Kansas game, it was gone. So you can file a grievance against referees. So we will be looking, as CU fans and just decent common people, we will be looking to see if the referees are biased. We will be filing grievances. We will be filing grievances against referees. And people say, oh, that's going to make the refs go harder. Okay, sometimes you got to fight. Sometimes you got to fight. You got to know when to pick your battles. But the question is, who is the NCAA committee responsible to? Who pays their salaries? How are they selected? What is their purpose? And what does accountability look like for infractions? For when they're not doing their job, for when they're not neutral, for when they show bias, for when they show prejudice. When the mission is one thing, but to further college athletics, but they seem to be holding back, halting, stifling, smothering college athletics, in particular where football is concerned. Because why? Football makes the most money. And who are the majority of football players in college football? You can Google it. If you put them all together, it's Black students. So it seems that the NCAA's mission is not being followed, but rather a path to hold back the progress of Black student athletes, in particular, football players and Black head coaches. We'll see how Fran Brown is treated this year since he had the courage to speak up. The coach from Notre Dame waved off his Blackness. So, I'm sure he think he might be safe. But I promise you, if he lose 2 seasons in a row, they're going to get rid of his. So somebody needs to check the NCAA, and there needs to be a governing body above them other than a court system or the legal system. All right, so I guess I'm going to check the comments, and then we're going to get ready to get out of here. It is Tuesday night. Maybe it's Taco Tuesday for some people. And we shall see. Let's see what we have here. D. Johnson said we have to beat Georgia Tech. Yes, we absolutely have to beat Georgia Tech. I agree. Totally agree. Game is Arizona. Oh, that's me. The 9th best game is Arizona. Elijah said they could end up on the same team with the NFL politics. Oh, okay, Elijah. You're talking about Travis and Shedeur. Okay. No, you're talking about Travis and McMillan. Okay, the wide receiver or DB wide receiver combo. Okay. And maybe they kind of maybe anticipating that, but they had an excellent conversation. It was on Travis's show. It says, where is the study guide? What do you mean, Elijah? The study guide? Every game Colorado played with highlights that is on YouTube is the study guide. So just pick a few games from this season, and here's what I would do. Here's what I would do, because I could easily be a college professor if I want to be. So I'm not going to take the obvious. In other words, I'm not going to necessarily ask you all about Baylor or all about UCF. I'm probably going to ask you about Arizona. I'm probably going to ask you about Oklahoma State, something you probably don't anticipate. So I'm going to get a little tricky with it. I'm not going to make it too tough, because I understand we all have busy schedules and y'all don't have time to sit down and watch every highlights, but I would at least get 3 or 4 out the way. Knowing me, it says, yes, Georgia Tech set the tone for the season. Yes, we have to win. We have to win that game. Couldn't stop the run against Kansas. Yeah. Okay. All right, Jerry. I agree. We couldn't stop the run against Kansas. But that does not excuse the dirty play that was allowed. In fact, stopping the run was the least of the conversation for Kansas. It was really about the referees and how they tried to impede the game. If I'm not mistaken, one ref got in Travis's way. Another ref, one ref got in Travis's way in the middle of a play. So they were, and I don't know what it is about Kansas and Kansas State, or Kansas and Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I know when it comes to Kansas, these refs go out of their way to perform, not call games, to perform and to make sure that Colorado is held back. I don't know what it's going to look like this year, but I'm going to go find that grievance form, and we're going to find another way to get it done, because I know it's a process. But they took that form down last year. It might be back out there. I'm going to go look for it again. but we are definitely going to utilize it. And if people feel like, well, nothing's going to come of it, well, it exists, and it's a process that we're going to follow if they try to cheat us again, which I expect them to do. NCAA is a hindrance for certain schools. I mean, honestly, I need to understand what the hell is the purpose, because I know they are supposed to be neutral, but after this whole spring game prejudice, you could see that they're not. You could see it. CU 2025 schedule looks tough and competitive. Yes. Now, Jerry, I think before you started joining us, there's a video out there. We did a game by game analysis of the 2025 schedule, and we came up with who we would defeat and who we might possibly lose to. I think we had maybe only 2 losses on the schedule. You got to go check out that video, but it's out there on YouTube. So yeah, it is tough. It says, I like your hat. Thank you, Crowley. Thank you. Is this open book? Yeah. If you have time to sit there and search on your TV, what game did Will Shepherd score his first touchdown? Or what game was LeJounte and Travis Hunter running up side by side to the end zone, and Travis was blocking for LeJounte, and they was having fun in the process? There's a photo. Stuff like that. These photos exist. So hint, just look through the photos and, click on the photo and open it up and see what the captions say. And that might be the answer. But so yeah, I think it's going to be good. So yes, it's open book, Elijah. Open book. 22. I don't think 22 is with us today. All right. So we're going to get out of here for tonight, and I'm going to get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow is part 3. It's Wednesday. And then we have Thursday and Friday is pro day. Now, I already heard that Tennessee said, unless it was April Fool's joke, that they are not coming to CU's pro day. But Shedeur already, and possibly Travis, has workouts scheduled after CU's pro day, specifically with Tennessee. So I don't know if Tennessee's wasting people's time. Dallas is out here trying to make moves, trying to get Tyreek Hill, dragging their feet on re-signing Michael Parsons, was thinking about maybe possibly moving Dak. So Dallas got some things going on. And I heard the new coach, Brian Schottenheimer, is influential in the decisions and helping to make the decisions. So we need to keep our eye on Dallas to see what are they just trying to lock up talent so nobody else gets it, or are they going to try to make a run for the Super Bowl? And I don't know if y'all saw it yesterday. I posted the newest wives of the New York Giants, Jameis Winston's wife and Sierra, which is Russell Wilson's wife. I was like, okay. And fans didn't say anything about the women. I put that out there. Fans were actually excited when the New York Giants posted about Jameis Winston. They were like, well, what took y'all so long? Y'all posted Russ when he first got here. And then people were like, oh, at least the games are going to be tolerable now. So it looks like New York said they might try to go for it. But New York might be a little slippery. So we need to see what they're going to do with that number 3 draft pick. Are they going to get somebody out the first round? Are they going to get somebody out the second round? Or are they going to trade that pick to Dallas? Because I don't know. New Orleans might want it. I don't know. New Orleans is what, number 9? They might want to come up. I don't know about do y'all think the Vegas Raiders would trade to get number 3? I think if any trade happens, it's Vegas and the Browns. I don't think it's the Giants. I think Vegas and the Browns, or Vegas and the Titans, would try to secure a swap for whatever reason. Now, I will say this. If Tennessee does not take a quarterback, I'm starting to hear all this foolishness about Abdul Carter. I'm like, look here. No disrespect to Abdul Carter, but Tennessee need a quarterback. They fans already said they're going to burn it down if it's still Will Levis this year. So playing around and getting the edge rusher when you need a quarterback is what? Okay. So we're going to close it off right here. Again, make sure you know where to find the podcast, because these are the kind of conversations I have. Like the one I just had about the NCAA, and I'm probably going to talk about it again. But I'm going to go in on Stephen A., and I want to know if y'all think he needs his black card revoked, because his behavior towards LeBron is ugly. And his demeaning and degrading of people like Angel Reese and other Black athletes, I think it might be time to revoke Stephen A's black card. And I ain't talking about Amex. And Shannon Sharp need to put on notice too. So make sure you know how to find the podcast, because I will be talking about it. All right, so listen up. Find the podcast. It's simple. Look for the link in the bio for YouTube. I will probably post it on Threads. I will likely post it in the bio for IG. I'll probably post it on Facebook. I'll probably post it on TikTok. That way you can just find it and click on it. All right, y'all. So, good questions. All right, Crowley. Jerry said Carter is hurt and having surgery. Right. And yeah. Great live. Thank you, D Johnson. And thank you for tonight. Okay, y'all. Well, thank you. Y'all make sure the lights match. I appreciate y'all. Thank you to my members. I appreciate you. If you see the join button, click it and consider becoming a member. It really helps the channel to grow, because I get to expand into things like audio podcasts when y'all are out walking, traveling and working out. And, I don't know, you could be taking train transport on the East Coast or in Atlanta. That way you get to take What She Said podcast with you, the audio version, so you don't burn up all of your data and all of your memory with the video, because everybody can't sit and watch still videos, but you can listen. You can listen up. All right, y'all, I'm going to say goodnight. D. Johnson say Stephen A. Oh, I'm serious. I'm going to go in. It's time. It's time. It's time. We got to put them on notice, because here's their thing. This is their issue. And then I'm going to go. Stephen A. believes that because they made him the head ninja over, remember Joe Clark from that movie where he was the school principal and he said he was the HNIC? Well, I changed it to the head ninja in charge. Well, because they made him that over that ESPN, he's feeling himself. And he thinks because they put him up to do their bidding that we have to be on the receiving end of it. Like we don't have a choice. We do have a choice. But what I seem to understand is if they're using you to demean and degrade Black athletes, what audience are they trying to attract? Because it's not us. We're not going to watch that. So essentially, they're putting you out front and center to attract people that look like them. That's who you want to be? That's how you want to go out? That's the hill you want to die on? And because you can't get access to, say, LeBron, you want to start trashing this man? And of course, they're not going to say anything because, why would they want to try to take down LeBron? But let's be honest, you're not going to succeed at taking down LeBron. But LeBron has succeeded in denying access to Stephen A. for 22 years, they said. 22 years. And that's why he's upset. I'm like, bro, you feeling yourself. You and Shannon Sharp need to be put on notice. It's time for y'all black cards to be revoked. It can be done. Don't think it can't be done. We're not out here canceling. We past canceling. We're not out here trying to cancel you. You can keep your job. But who are you going to be talking to? The people that don't want people like you to succeed? That's how you want to go out? That's what you want your legacy to be? Oh, I sold Black folks up the river for a check. That would make you any different than the people who sold Black people out for slavery. That's who you want to be? And Shannon, he like to hopscotch over back and forth the line. Sometimes Shannon Sharp want to act like he care about what happened to Black people, but then he want to be Stephen A. part-time on his own platform. On his own platform. That is so problematic. And for the same reason, a check. As if Shannon Sharp's coffers were not already full. All money ain't good money. And I'm not telling Stephen A. that he should have turned down his $100 million contract. I will say this. Before you signed it, you should have asked, do I need to continue demeaning Black people? Inquire where white people are concerned. Demeaning Deshaun Watson and staying silent on Justin Tucker. If they would have said yes, then maybe you should have got you a job somewhere else. I mean, at some point, your dignity has to come first. I'm not saying you got to be loyal to us because you don't know us, but you got to be loyal to people that look like you because you're going to need us one day. They going to replace you. Now that they know you got $100 million and you the head ninja in charge, see, they didn't know that. Now that they know that, they coming for you. All right. And we're not going to fight for you. As you notice right now, we just, with the world's problems, we out here trying to learn a line dance because we minding our business. All right. Hey, 22, there you go. Hey, 22, Stephen A. have been lost his, yeah. He said, no, he still had his black card. There's too many people fooling with him and watching him. Like, he ain't lost it yet, but he needs to lose it. See, Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. are stuck in that cancel mentality. They think we're going to want to try to cancel them. No, we want your black card back. That's worse. It's worse to not have a black card for black people that look like you not to fool with you. And you don't have to be okay with puppeteering for people that's trying to take you down. Because that's ultimately what it's becoming. If you pay attention, once they found out that he was the boss over there, that's why we didn't know. He knew what was going to happen when they found out. Now they know he's the boss. And now they know he's paid more than them. They're going to come for him. And we're not going to be here to sit up and politic for you. We're not going to say, oh, that's a shame. We're probably going to say it's about time. Because you're using your voice and your platform to take down your own kind. God don't like ugly. And that goes for Shannon Sharpe too. It says Stephen A. is about ratings and want mega. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. I don't think even us realize that even though we're looking at him, they put him there to attract people that look like them. Which meant he full well knowingly took a job to take his own people down. They're not interested in people that look like Stephen A. as viewers. That's not what they want. That's why the clickbait. And there's already been an article. I posted it in the post community on YouTube. So apparently there was a top 15 article that you have to pay $11.99 for about the incoming 2025 QBs ranked from 1 to 15. And the person that did the ranking ranked Arch Manning low. Not low as in the best, but not as good as people say. That he's hype, right? They got on him. And it's on, I posted it. The headline says ESPN now has to do damage control about its negative commentary about Arch Manning. I'm like, and here it starts. This is where it starts. I told y'all they were going to put the article out around May. Well, they put it out early since we talking about the draft, I guess, even though it's still college quarterbacks, but we are talking about spring ball. And they're charging $11.99 for it. I'm just going to wait for the one to come out, and I'm going to compare it to mine because I'm going to do my own. I don't have a problem with keeping up with statistics and making my own ranking. I already got my own mock draft. We're going to do it right here. And y'all going to be assigned draft picks. And then we're going to do our mock draft. We're going to be live for the draft. We're going to do post-draft analysis because like James said, we're going to be shocked as to who get drafted. And then we're going to turn our attention to the QBs. And we're going to make sure that we be fair with Colorado's QBs. Because I saw something out here that's a CU commentator actually posted talking about the best players in college football. I didn't see one CU person on there for 2025. They had like Ohio State, Notre Dame. I'm like, are y'all serious right now? And don't you cover CU? Well, how do you not have Juju? How do you not have Caden? How do you not have DJ McKinney? How do you not have Alejandro Mata? I mean, if you're going to cover CU, right? I'm not saying you got to be biased, but at least be honest. So, you know, Stephen A. is on his way out. I believe it too. They coming for him. I'm telling you, they are coming for him. It's funny how he didn't have anything to say when his coworker went in on Shedeur, talking about Shedeur is not the type of NFL player or quarterback that NFL teams want. He didn't have anything to say about that. As if we didn't know that he chooses what they talk about. And Cam looked like he came and went. I don't know what happened there. Cam looked like he came and went, and he brought in Louis Riddick. It seems like he attaches himself to anybody that's willing to publicly disparage another black athlete. That seems to be how you get to ESPN. But that's okay because they are coming for him. See, it's one thing to get $100 million. It's another thing when you can't enjoy it because they breathing down your neck, trying to hunt you and get rid of you and make you feel and degrade you in the same manner that you did black athletes. That's called karma. And we're not going to have nothing to say. And Shannon Sharpe on that list too. Like I say, he keep hopscotching back and forth. But we don't like that either because it means that you're using us because you don't have any problem with degrading black athletes. Calling George Pickens lazy. He might be, I don't know. But that L word ain't the word to use because it's typically used against us. Going in on Coach Prime after the Nebraska game. That's supposed to be your friend. Going in on your colleague. It's a lot. And it's sad because Shannon has his own platform. So he clearly can do better. Stephen A. clearly doesn't have any power. He has what you call perceived power. And he's trying to flex real power against LeBron, and he's going to lose. The Pelicans already clapped back at Stephen A. and ESPN about Zion because they tried to go in on Zion. A ball club stood up for a player against ESPN. It's like Stephen A. knows no ends, no bounds. He has no boundaries. Just attacking Zion, calling him a bust because they wanted Zion and another player, CJ McCollum, to sit because I guess they're making a run for the playoffs. I don't know they standing. The ball club, the Pelicans clap back, not Zion. The Pelicans clap back against Stephen A. and ESPN on behalf of their player, Zion Williams. When have y'all ever seen that happen? I've never seen an organization clap back at these kind of people. Never. That's why I said they coming for him. Him and Stephen A. And Shannon Sharpe, you next. You better watch it. Stephen A. is about ratings and want mega views. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. He is on his way out. Facts. Shannon Sharpe for the inside man. Yeah, he is an inside man because he knows too much to have some of the conversations that he has. Stephen A. need to take a page out of Michael Vick life. Once you are paid very high, they come at you. Right? I don't even know how he doesn't know that. But see, he has that syndrome. And I don't know what it's called. But it means, oh, that's not going to happen to me. They're not going to do to me what I'm doing to you. Yeah, they are. And they think you should expect it because they used you to do it. So now it's your turn. And I'm not going to say nothing. A lot of us are not going to say nothing. We're going to watch you get them licks because you deserve them because you tried to set all of us up. Of all the people you could talk about, you don't talk about the people that put you up to talk about your own. I don't understand how they associated with Disney. That's a bad sign. That's a bad look. I don't understand if y'all understand how bad that look is. Disney is children's program. It should be neutral. It should be about developing young minds. And the association with ESPN, man, that's not good. As a parent, you don't want that. You don't want your teen watching ESPN and your 5 or 6-year-old watching Disney. You don't want that. He's the next to go from ESPN. Yep, he is. That's why I said they're coming for you. They're coming for you, and I don't know, what I don't know what happened with Cam. I do see Louis Riddick more, but I see the same thing every single time. Once you disparage a black athlete, then you on the desk. And then it's going to be somebody else. So it's like he got a carousel going. And the only stationary person is Shannon. That's because Shannon signed a contract. And people did question after Shannon signed that contract, was he changing up? Because he was being different. He rarely talked about Angel Reese at all. It's like he was just on that Caitlin Clark bandwagon. I don't even know if he watched women's basketball at all. But the next morning on ESPN, That's what they were on. So it's like he took his work home with him. That's what he was doing. I'm like, that's crazy to make it to this point, to transform from an athlete, to get your own platform, and to have the power you have. Cat Williams gave you every dime you needed. You didn't need ESPN money. All money ain't good money, but you had to have it because you wanted to be up there with the people whose platform your platform is actually a part of. And then you try to scale like they do, and that's cool. But you try to scale behind the back of the man that sit across the screen from you that you demean every other day. Ocho, that's who you gonna scale with? As much as he loved LeBron, LeBron's wife actually has a good podcast. And when Shannon was going after Ocho fiance podcast, Savannah's was better. She had less content and more views. What does that tell you? And hers wasn't salacious about cheating and this, that, and the other. Why he didn't go after hers? Don't he love LeBron? You see what I'm saying? Because he was being self-serving. And some people say he wanted to serve who? Okay. So that's what happened when we try to covet other people. So I'm going to get out of here. That was it. I told y'all, go find a podcast. I'm telling you, when I say listen up, I'm not joking. If you look at any of the listen up content, the little shorts that I have on this channel that are already published, people love them because I'm just being real. And same thing with the podcast, and same thing with listen up, and it's easier because I could be anywhere. I could be anywhere, hit record, upload, and y'all can listen to it. So it's not like I have to edit it, add this content, add images, add videos. That takes a lot of time. So I appreciate the members for What She Said podcast. I appreciate the new followers on IG. I see y'all constantly following me on IG. I appreciate it. And I'm just trying to fill in the gaps. And I think the podcast does that. And then the different platforms just bring it all together. So that's what you'll see me working on. And I just want to thank y'all, because one thing about YouTube, they're like, you have very loyal people that keep coming back to your podcast. And I'm like, thank you. And I want to thank y'all for that, because it means a lot to me. I really enjoy this. And this is just giving me a platform. And I'm the kind of person, I see how others do it, and I'm going to make a decision. I want to go that way or not. And honestly, I'd rather have your likes and your subs than to check and have to sell my soul. I'm never going to do that. That's not how I'm not wired that way. So hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you see the join button, click and choose your level. If not, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all so much for watching What She Said.
Yeah, welcome fam, it's a vibe. Break it down, talking sports, hard and hustle. Wear the crown, subscribe to the journey. Don't sleep on the grind. Hit the like button, come on, don't be blind. Hit that like, don't be stingy now. Join the movement, let's show them how. What she said. We bring the vibes, together we rose, reaching higher and higher. From hoops to the griddle, we cover it all. Champions rise and together we never fall. Join the fam, we celebrate every win. What she said, let's meet where the passion begins. Hit that like, don't be stingy now. Join the movement, let's show them how. what she said. We bring the vibes, together we rose, reaching higher and higher. Welcome aboard, let's make it loud. What she said, with her eyes on the crowd.